In the early hours of a moonless night, the U.S. military executed an operation so audacious that it would rewrite the rules of modern warfare. Deep within Iran's heavily fortified coastal hideouts along the Strait of Hormuz, a series of precision strikes obliterated what intelligence officials described as the nerve centers of the IRGC's naval asymmetric warfare program. But this was not just another airstrike, it was a calculated message to Tehran, a demonstration that no cave, no tunnel, no underground bunker could protect their plans for the 2026 Hormuz war that the Pentagon now sees as inevitable. This story begins with the shocking revelation of what exactly the U.S. military did, why it matters, and how it sets the stage for the most dangerous confrontation in the Persian Gulf since the Tanker War. For years, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has invested heavily in what military strategists call swarm warfare, dozens of small, fast attack boats armed with anti-ship missiles, torpedoes, and even explosive-laden drones. These assets are hidden not in naval bases, but in purpose-built man-made caves and seaside bunkers scattered across Keshem Island, Hormuz Island, and the coastline around Bandar Abbas. According to declassified satellite imagery, these hideouts feature reinforced concrete doors, hardened communication centers, and launch rails that can be deployed within minutes. The U.S. Navy has long considered them the single greatest threat to the free flow of oil through the Strait of Hormuz. In response, the Pentagon developed a classified program called Project Sandstorm, combining cyber attacks, SEAL team insertions, and loitering munitions to neutralize these hideouts without a full-scale invasion. The operation that unfolded in late 2025 was the culmination of years of intelligence gathering and technological breakthroughs. The choice of 2026 as the projected date for the Hormuz War is no coincidence. Intelligence assessments from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency predict that by early 2026, Iran will have operationalized its new generation of fast attack craft, equipped with Chinese-supplied radar and North Korean propulsion systems. Additionally, Tehran is expected to complete its network of underground missile silos along the coast, making it possible to launch coordinated saturation attacks against U.S. naval assets and Gulf allies. The U.S. strike on the hideouts was specifically timed to set back this timeline by at least 18 months, degrading Iran's ability to execute what the IRGC calls Operation Martyrdom. The precision of the strikes, involving B-2 Spirit bombers and submarine-launched cruise missiles, bypassed Iran's air defenses and struck at the heart of their coastal infrastructure. The result, over 80% of targeted hideouts were rendered inoperable, forcing the IRGC into a strategic crisis that could trigger a desperate retaliation before its capabilities are fully rebuilt. The operation immediately drew condemnation from Tehran, which accused the U.S. of piracy and terrorism while vowing to respond with unconventional measures. State media aired footage of damaged coastal structures, but experts noted the absence of civilian casualties, confirming the surgical nature of the strikes. Meanwhile, the international community remained divided. Gulf states privately praised the move but publicly called for restraint, while Russia and China denounced it as a violation of Iranian sovereignty. The real question now is whether this preemptive action delays or accelerates the long-predicted Hormuz war. Analysts at the Center for Strategic and International Studies argue that by crippling Iran's coastal capabilities, the U.S. has bought time but also raised the stakes. Iran may now rely even more heavily on its proxy forces in Yemen and Iraq to strike at Saudi oil facilities and Israeli ports, escalating the conflict in a way that could still trigger a full blockade. As the U.S. Fifth Fleet maintains its highest alert level since 1988, the world watches, knowing that the next attack could come from anywhere but the sea. The U.S. military's operation against Iran's coastal hideouts marks a paradigm shift in how modern navies deal with asymmetric threats. It demonstrates that precision, intelligence, and speed can neutralize even the most dispersed and networked enemy without relying on massed force. But it also signals that the era of passive deterrence is over. What the Pentagon now calls active denial means striking first, deep inside enemy territory, before threats can be realized. As the world edges toward the 2026 Hormuz War, the choices made today will define maritime security for decades. Whether you're a professional in defense or a concerned observer, stay informed and engaged, because history is being written in the Persian Gulf at this very moment. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.